that works. We having a little glitch over here. What's up, Instagram? We've been live for a few minutes on Instagram, but we cannot figure out why we're not showing up live. Now we're showing up live. I think we got it. I think it's right now. I think it's worky now. I think it's working now. All right. I think we cooking with gas now. I think we're cooking with gas now. Finally, we got the live stream to come on. Wow. That took about 8 minutes of our time figuring that out. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. If you are coming on, joining us live, I want to say good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, now you know. I'm your host, Ramonepreston, every Monday through Friday, 12 o'clock noon, Eastern Standard Time. We show up here on the Ramonepreston Show with the goal and the intention to share information with you that you can use to engineer $1 million enterprise. So if you're interested in learning more about how to start, structure, and scale any business or even your income streams, we use this show to educate you, to empower you, to instruct you, to enlighten you, to give you the game. So I appreciate all of you for joining the show. If you would be so kind, could you put in the comments what city you're watching the Ramonepreston Show from? Please put in the comments what city you are watching the Ramonepreston Show from. And don't forget, whether you do it now or whether you do it when the show is over, please be sure to take a few minutes and subscribe to our YouTube page. Of course, I appreciate if you follow us on Facebook, if you follow us on Instagram, if you follow us on LinkedIn. I appreciate if you follow us on X, Threads, or any other platform on social media. But more importantly, we want you to subscribe to our YouTube page. Why is that? Because YouTube is by far the most effective and impactful platform that we use to share this amazing information with you. We have over 3,300 videos on YouTube alone. It has become a library. It's a mini version of my online university. So there are hundreds and hundreds of videos on YouTube alone teaching you all the ins and outs of holding companies, systems, processes, financial literacy, investing, all the things that we have taught hundreds, probably thousands of people since we've been providing consulting, coaching, and education to our community. So please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube page. All right. Thank you all again for joining the show. Again, my name is Ramonepreston. I'm the host. My squad, my staff, my team, they are always available. So anytime we're live, they are in the comments, leaving comments, and they're going to put a number in the comments before today's show ends. So if you have a question that you need to ask me, if there's some information that you need from me, all you have to do is take the number that we put in the comments, and all you have to do is call that number or text that number, and we'll be more than happy to answer any question that you might have. All right. So today is really part 2 from yesterday's show on how to make the most out of your business. So whether you are currently a business owner or whether you're thinking about becoming a business owner, the thing that you need to learn to do is to make the most out of your business. Now, of course, there are so many pieces to making a business work. There are so many different things that you have to do right in order for your business to even make money. But what I do know is this: if you are able to start a business, file and form the paperwork, get your a bank account open. You might have some products and services that you want to sell. If you can figure out how to start a business, and if you're able to learn the basic fundamental principles to structuring your business, you will be able to make the most out of that business. So making the most out of a business is really about learning how to engineer and structure the business in a way that you're not overworked, overwhelmed, and getting no results. Most entrepreneurs that I talk to, they all over the place. If you're an entrepreneur, you probably feel like that sometimes, like you doing everything, you wearing every hat. You have to be the marketer. You got to be the salesperson. You got to be the administrator. You got to be the cold caller. You got to be the delivery driver. You got to create the products. You got to talk to people on the phone. You got to send emails out. I know how it feels to have to do everything, okay? But what I do know is once you start structuring your business and setting up the right systems and processes for your business, it's going to make it easier, and that's what's going to be the foundation for you to make the most out of your business. So again, today is part 2 of this discussion on how to make the most out of your business. Now, just in case you missed yesterday's show, I want to begin by making sure you understand the 5 main areas of a business. Okay? So even if you don't have these departments set up yet in your business, these are still the 5 main areas of your business. So let me put these on the board and then we'll talk about them, okay? So you have your marketing division. This is the main areas of your business. You have marketing, you have sales, you have financial, you have your executive operations, and then you have your admin. So if you had to break your business up into 5 main categories, I would recommend that you break your business up into these 5. All right? So whether you are a solopreneur or you have a team and a staff of people, please understand, as a business owner, every business that you own has these 5 main areas. Every business. So when I talk to entrepreneurs and share this with them, a lot of times they'll tell me, yeah, but I ain't got no marketing division set up. I ain't got no sales and financial division set up. I don't have a operational and administrative department. It don't matter if you got it or not. That business still gonna need it in order for it to run. So if you're gonna make the most out of your business and you're gonna put your LLC together and you're gonna open up a bank account, you're gonna get an EIN number, you're gonna get a logo and a website or a landing page, the main thing you need to be focusing on after you do all that other stuff in starting the business is you need to start engineering or structuring that business in a way so that you can make the most out of it. Okay? And so the way to begin doing that is separating these 5 main areas of your business and treating these 5 areas like departments or divisions. So that means whatever the name of your business is, LLC, that business should have a marketing department or division, whatever you want to call it, a sales department, a financial department, an operational department as an executive, and an administrative department. I promise if you just separate mentally your business up in these 5, it's going to start making things easier. Because if I wake up every day as an entrepreneur or a solopreneur and I got a business and I'm doing 1,000 things all day, every day, even though doing this might not relieve all my pressure and all my stress and my workload, but it at least helps me to identify with what area of my business am I working on. So for example, if you're working on sending emails out to people, or you on social media putting up content, just like for me right now, I'm live on my show. I'm talking to you. Well, I'm on social media. So basically I'm marketing my business right now. Even though I'm kind of selling, but more importantly, I'm marketing because I'm live. I'm on social media. I'm giving you value. So if I sat down later today and I looked at what I did today for my business, I can easily say, oh, from 12 to 12:30 p.m., all I did was market my business. Well, now I can look at my team and see what my team did today. What area of my business did they work on? So just separating your business or dissecting your business up into these 5 areas, mentally, it kind of clears the clutter for you to know what area of your business are you working on. So if you're on the phone with a client, or you go to an appointment and you're giving a presentation and you're trying to sell a product or a service, what area is that? That would be sales. Let's say you need to put an invoice together. Let's say that you need to go make a deposit at the bank because somebody wrote you a check or somebody cashed app you money and you're pushing that money to a bank. That would be finance. Let's say you're meeting with a couple people about a business deal or you're drafting a contract. That would be your executive operations. Let's say you need to tweak your logo, not necessarily your logo, but let's say you're tweaking a letterhead or you're trying to communicate with a customer that is already in your business. That would be administration. The fact that you can separate all your activities up by using these 5 as a criteria, it just makes what you do easier. And again, it doesn't relieve you of the stress because if you're a solopreneur, you probably got to be all 5. You probably got to be the marketer, the salesperson, the finance person, the operator, and the administrator. But it's okay because at least when you start getting people to help you, it's easier for you to say, hey, here's where I need help in. I need you to help me with my admin, or I need you to help me with my sales, or I need you to help me with my finance. At least you can direct people where you need help at and you can see where you need help the most. But if you don't separate your business into departments, into divisions, then you gonna be all over the place and you ain't gonna never have no peace. That's the problem with most entrepreneurs. And that's the biggest thing that you gotta fix. You gotta fix that. So again, if you wanna make the most out of the business that you got, whether your business is big or small, the starting point is for you to separate these 5 areas of your business and treat your business like it's made up of these 5 departments. And don't think, okay, well, it's just me. My business don't really have these 5 departments. Yes, it does. It needs to. Because if you look at what you do as a solopreneur or a small business owner, I promise that you're doing one of these 5 every day. So not a day goes by that all 5 of these are not done in a business. And you, if it's just you running the business, you doing all 5. You're marketing, you're selling, you're looking at the financial numbers, you are the leader and the executive operating the business, and you're administrating the business. So it's going to be very hard. And I tell people that all the time. When you be trying to hire like virtual assistants and getting your family or your spouse or children to help you do stuff in your business, the reason why they can't really help you and be effective in helping you because you all over the place. And you got to be able to bring that in. You got to be willing to learn how to bring it in. And that's why I'm teaching this. So again, making the most out of your business begins by you looking at your business as if it's made up of these 5 areas. Once you break these 5 areas up, whether you do it on paper or whether you do it with technological platforms or systems or whatever you're using, however you break it up, then you need to look at these 5 areas to see what am I doing for each of these departments, and if I'm doing something in that department, is it working? Is it working? So let's say, for example, if you look at your marketing department, you got to figure out what are you doing for the marketing of your business? You're responsible for it. Are you creating content? And is the content working? Is it targeting the right people? Are you sending emails out? Do you even have an email list? Are you putting a database together? Are you distributing information in the form of value to the community? Are you telling the right stories, or are you telling enough stories? So you need to look at your marketing to see what's working and what's not working. And I promise you, if you ain't on social media every day and you are an entrepreneur, if you're not on social media every day, if you ain't on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Threads, X, if you ain't on all these platforms every single day and you are an entrepreneur, I will be either the first one or another one to tell you, if you're not on social media every day, you are not marketing your business. You have failed. You get an F in marketing. The only way you're going to generate enough sales to stay in business over long periods of time is if you figure out how to become consistent in your marketing. I'm not even going to say you got to get good. Of course, I want you to get good. But most people who are consistently marketing their business, meaning that they create content, they send emails out, they got a list in a database, they bring value to people, they tell story after story. Most people who do this are not like the best marketers. They're just desperate and thirsty and hungry, and they're willing to show up every day and do what they got to do. I don't consider myself the best marketer. I don't even consider myself a professional marketer. But what I can consider myself is an entrepreneur who is so committed to my business. I'm so committed to my success. I am so determined that I am willing to show up every day live with video content, send emails out, communicate. I'm willing to create content, email, give people value, tell my story. Like when we started the show today, and like we do every day when we host this show Monday through Friday, number one, I'm hosting the show every day. I don't have to do this. I don't have to host a live show. I could just put clips up every day. I have a full-time content creator. My son, he works full-time for our company. I don't even have to put anything out on social media. I could just leave that up to my son. But I do it because I want to bring value to people. I want to tell my story as many different ways as I can. I want to show up every day and be consistent. And I want to push my brand and promote my brand as much as I can. So my point to you is, I want you to look at your marketing department and see what are you doing every day, all day, to make sure that you're marketing your business. Because if you ain't marketing your business, all these other departments ain't gonna mean nothing. You should not be worried about your administrative activities, your operational activities, your financial activities. You should be worried about the sales, but you definitely shouldn't be worried about those three if you're not marketing. And if your sales activities are too low, don't just look at your sales activities being low. Look at your marketing activities, because you need to open up that funnel. That means you need to get more people knowing about your business. You need to get more eyes, more ears, more hands interested in your business. And the only way you're going to do it is if you market. And you're probably going to have to create a whole lot more content than what you think. You're probably going to have to send way more emails than you think. You're probably going to have to give way more value than you think. And you're going to have to tell more than just this one sob story that you keep using. You're going to have to tell many stories over and over and over and over again. And you've got to be repetitious. You got to be repetitive. You got to be persistent. You almost have to become aggravating to the people who keep hearing it over and over again, because you're trying to reach new people. All right. So you need to look at your marketing, but then you need to look at your sales. So when you look at your sales department, what do you want to look at? You want to look at how many calls are you making every day? How many texts are you sending out every day? Do you have a script for your business? Do you have a sales process that you use for your business? What does your follow-up look like? So if you look at this list under sales, if you're not doing this, this is why you're not making the most out of your business. And you're probably not making enough money for your business to stay open. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. And I ain't trying to bash nobody. I don't want nobody to feel bad. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 20 years. And it took me probably the first 16, 17 years out of the last 20 to figure all this stuff out. It probably took the first 16 to 17 of the last 20 years to figure all this stuff out and to create a formula that I can work all of it. So don't feel bad. I'm just trying to educate you, enlighten you, provide value and support to you to show you that you don't have to wait 20 years to figure this out. Because again, 20 years ago, I really didn't have the mentality to find a coach or a mentor or go to a consultant or to be a part of a mastermind. 20 years ago, it really wasn't even as popular doing that as it is today. We didn't have social media 20 years ago. 20 years ago, if we had social media, oh my God. And I could just open up my phone and I could just click a button or a link and get access to people who know the stuff that I needed to know. I'd do it today, but I didn't have access to it 20 years ago. So it's no excuse. It just means that I didn't push hard enough to figure it out without having the technology. But you have the technology. You got access to it. So you need to work on looking at how many calls are you making every day. If you ain't calling people to do business with them or to buy your products and services, I don't see how you making money in your business. And again, I know some people, businesses, they're based on like automated systems, or you might have like an online store, or you might be doing drop shipping, or you might be doing affiliate marketing. But for most people who have businesses, you have to have a list. You need to put a database together. You need to have a lead board. You need to be able to have names and numbers and email addresses that you can email, you can call people and text people, even if they buy from your online store. Like I have an online store. I don't make a big deal about it because I just use my online store for promotional purposes or just for me to wear the stuff, right? Hoodies and hats and stuff. But my point is, when somebody buys something from my online store and Shopify sends me a notification that I just made money from a sale, and it shows me the profile of the person who bought, it shows me the name, the physical address, the email address, and the phone number. It's my job, if I want to take that information, put it in a CRM or a database, and make sure that my team emails them, call them, text them, and if they get in touch with somebody, they need to have a script and a sales process to see if they can offer more services or products to that person. So that's an example for online. If you provide a service through your business, you definitely need to be calling and texting and emailing people, and you need to have a script and a sales process, because people ain't gonna just buy stuff because you think they should buy it. I don't want to just buy stuff. When I go to purchase something, or if I'm looking for something, I want somebody to sell me. I want a salesperson to fact find, ask me questions. I want them to qualify me. I want them to make sure that I'm on the right product or that I'm getting the right service. I want them to lay everything out to me. Why? Because that's their job. They're the salesperson. So I say this all the time to my team, and they know it. That's why they educate themselves, they train, they role play, and they work it every day, because they know if we have an opportunity to email somebody, and we have an email address, and we have a name and a phone number, and we can call people and text people, it is our responsibility to be the professionals, to have a script and a sales process so that we can communicate and help them get the right product and service. If you ain't doing that, you ain't making the most of your business. Point blank, period. All right? So that's your sales. When it comes to your finance, department, what are some things that you need to be looking at? Well, I call it tracing. You need to be able to look back, let's say the last 3 to 6 months, and see how much money you made, how much money you spent, how much real money was left. You also need to make sure that you can look at how much cash was really collected. Because a lot of times when you're a service provider, especially when you provide a service through your business, a lot of times you might have a certain dollar amount that makes up the deal value, but that's not really the cash that's collected. So for example, we have services that we offer, we have programs, we have different products. But let's say if a salesperson in my company gets a contract for $1,000. Okay, we might not collect 1,000. We might just collect 100. But I've got to be able to look at my finances and trace those transactions to see how much real money did we make? How much money did we collect? Yes, I want to look at the deal value, but I also want to know how much real money did I collect? Why? Because tracing is a part of your financial accounting. Tracking is a part of your financial accounting. You got to be able to track what you're doing right now. And if you're not tracing and tracking, how are you going to forecast into the future? This stuff is important. And again, you don't have to be like the financial guru to understand this stuff. All right? But what you need to be is committed as an owner of a business to learn as much as you can about this stuff, especially when you're on the come up. This is why I'm such a big proponent of education, alternative education, and coaching and mentorship, because you got to learn this stuff. I just don't understand how people think they're going to just start a business and sprinkle some gooba dust on their business and bada bing, bada boom. Your business is $1 million business. It don't work like that. It does not work like that. And the few times you hear stories of people telling you it worked like that, it's a whole lot of stuff they leaving out that story. So don't fall for the okie doke. Understand that you got to put work in. And the work that you got to put in first is probably educating yourself, getting the knowledge, and then getting around people who going to hold you accountable with that knowledge so that you're doing the right thing. All right. So when it comes to your executive operations, what are some things that you need to look at? Well, executive operations really describe what you do as an executive of your company. What are you doing as the CEO? Are you just waking up every day telling people you a CEO, or are you really doing stuff? I think when you're on the come up, especially if you're a solopreneur, your main role as the executive or CEO of your company should be to promote your business. So that's really market. You should be the main promoter. You should be the main salesperson. You should be the PR person. You should be building relationships. You should be building partnerships. Like, you got to become the go-to person. You got to be the person you're the spokesperson. You're the representative of the company. You can't put this on somebody else. And you can't use as an excuse, I'm doing too much. No, the reason why you feel like you're doing too much because you haven't put a general operating system together. All right? The way you eliminate feeling like you're doing too much is put a general operating system together. So that means you got your EIN, you got your bank account, you got your Duns and Bradstreet, you got your logo, your website. You got all this stuff. None of it makes money. None of it makes you no money. But once you put it together, you need to put a general operating system together made up of your marketing, your sales, your financials, your executive operations, and your administration. I promise, if you put a general operating system together like what I'm telling you, you could be a solopreneur feeling like you run a major corporation. This is how I have and how I have helped other people engineer seven-figure enterprises. So when you look at your executive operations, I would say if you're on the come up as a solopreneur, your main role is not just to be around here huffing and puffing, flexing, acting cocky, talking about you a CEO. That means nothing if you ain't making no money. if your business is not making an impact, if you're not helping to change people's lives, you just got a good idea on corporate papers. You have to put that thing together and make the most out of it. So you should be promoting. You should be the main salesperson. You should be doing the PR. You should be building relationships and partnerships. You got to be the go-to person. So with your admin is really about customer service. This is what your admin is about. I don't like to look at administration just as paperwork. Ain't nobody got time for paperwork. The only paperwork you need to be thinking about is this paperwork. Because you can't help nobody if you ain't got no money. Period. I don't understand it. Like, I'm a preacher. I'm an apostle. I got a church. But I'm telling you, my church would not have lasted the last 16 years, 12 when I pastored, and the last 4 with my wife pastoring. Our church would not have been able to do all the things that we've done. We still have active prison ministries, nursing home ministries, community outreach ministries. We have created so many programs and have helped thousands of people right here in Atlanta. We wouldn't have done that had we just been dependent on tithes and offerings from people who probably ain't even got enough money to give tithes and offerings. We had to have a successful business to help fund and finance the things we believe God told us to do. And thankfully, we were able to do that, and it impressed people so much that people didn't feel bad about supporting our church because they knew there's no way this church with the size of membership could be doing all this stuff. There's no way we could have done all that stuff we were doing and have done and continue to do with maybe 100, up at best at some point, maybe 150 members. There's just no way we could have done it. We were doing stuff people who had hundreds of members wasn't doing, thousands of members. Maybe it wasn't their assignment. I'm not here to judge, but all I'm saying is, if you're an entrepreneur, if you want to make the most out of your business, it starts with you breaking your business up into these 5 areas. Look at these 5 as departments or divisions, and you need to have it. You should have a marketing division, a sales division, finance division, executive operational division, and an admin division. And then you start looking at all the things you're supposed to be doing in those areas. And even though you might have to do them all at first, at some point, your effectiveness becomes efficient. Does that make sense? Let me say it again. You're not going to be efficient at first. Because again, you're listening to somebody who's been a full-time. That means for the last 20 years, I had to wake up and get out here in these streets and figure out how to make money to take care of me and my family and a whole bunch of other people. All right? So you're listening to somebody who's figured out formulas to work after 20 years of doing it. But what I'm telling you is, when I first started, I didn't have social media 20 years ago. We didn't have coaches and mentors and mastermind groups and automated systems and processes and technology and platforms. We didn't have none of that. So a lot of this was like blood, sweat, and tears. However, I had to wake up every day and be all 5 of these. I had to wear all those hats. I had to be the marketer, the salesperson, the finance guy, the operator, and the administrator. But once I created a general operating system that became effective for me, now I can make it more efficient to bring others on. Because if you got other people helping you, volunteering or supporting, or you paying them, and you all over the place, you cannot hire somebody to come and fix all your problems. It might look like they're going to fix your problems, but they're going to become a problem. Or you're going to be so dependent upon them, it's called key person dependency. That could be detrimental to your business, key person dependency, because now you're so dependent upon this person, they actually have you imprisoned based on your dependency of them, because if they ever leave, your business goes to the ground. So you got to be very careful about that, all right? So for those of you that have any questions, you have a question you want to ask, or some information that you need to know about how to put a general operating system together, we have courses about all this. We have a mentorship program. This is really the best mentorship program that most of our clients and mentees say they've ever been a part of. And I've got people who are in our mentorship program that have worked with some of the biggest names, and they said, you know what, this has to be the most impactful mentorship and that I've been a part of. So we do have a 1-year Millionaire mentorship program where we show you all the ins and outs of how to engineer a $1 million business. We have weekly coaching calls. We give you access for 1 year, unlimited, to our university training program that teaches all this stuff about holding companies, asset management, systems, processes, investing, financial literacy. We teach you everything because you got to learn all these things in order to be financially free, become a millionaire, and engineer a $1 million business. But I know firsthand, because I'm a witness, my life proves it, it is doable, it is possible. So you have any questions, or if you would like to know more information about the programs and the courses we have, I want you to look inside the comments, and my team has put a number with the word mentor in the comments. All you have to do is text the word mentor to that number, and we'll reach back out to you. I'll answer any question you may have, and hopefully we can get you plugged in so that we can start helping you scale your business, your ministry, or whatever it is that you're doing to 6-7 figures and beyond. All right, I love y'all. I went over today because the first 10 minutes or so we lost because we had a little technological glitch, but I appreciate y'all being patient. Thank y'all for joining the show. Leave some feedback, maybe your biggest takeaway, in the comments. Let me know what you heard today that resonated with you. But again, if you have any questions or if you need more information, look in the comments, take that number and text the word mentor to that number, and I'll answer whatever the questions are that you have. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for joining the Ramonepreston Show today on this beautiful Wednesday, W-I-N-S Day. Thank you for joining the show. We'll be back here tomorrow, same place, same time, 12 o'clock noon Eastern, right here on the Ramonepreston Show. Until tomorrow,